Meanwhile, in an interview with the Los Angeles Times, Pacers president of basketball operations Larry Bird talked about his rival, Magic Johnson, and the challenges he faces now that he's the Lakers president of basketball operations. Larry's saying this, he's got a lot to learn, but he took the challenge, and I'm sure he's ready for it. There's just so much to learn about it. You can put a team together, what you think's going to be a pretty solid team on paper, and then when they get out there, they don't mesh well. That's the growing pains. That's the frustration about it. Now, keep in mind, Magic beat Bird in the 1979 national title game. Magic also beat Bird in 2 of the 3 finals when they faced each other. Max, will Magic have more success as president as well?
I think he will. And look, in the pros, it's easy to forget now. Because Magic won 5 titles, Bird 3. Magic played longer at a higher level because of Bird's back injury. But for the first 5 or 6 years, no one was running around saying Magic was as good as Bird. And Magic won the finals MVP as a rookie. But he didn't shoot as well. He didn't score as well. I mean, Bird was considered the best player in basketball. And then over time, Magic's career surpassed his by a little bit. Usually they go together. And here they're going to be rival executives. And Stephen A. Smith, what Dan Le Batard said about Magic Johnson, I think applies. I don't think he's dissing Magic when he says, essentially, he's charming. And that helps. He's media savvy and friendly. And that helps. Magic Johnson's also the president of basketball operations for the most storied, including the Celtics, at least in modern NBA history, by far, franchise, and the #1 glamour franchise in basketball in the known universe. And by the way, it's not close. The vast majority of the Celtics championships took place before the current era, before the absorption of the ABA teams, the three-point shot, etc. And Bird just doesn't have the same kind of personality as Magic. So Bird makes these moves, and he's done a very good job. Magic will have more resources. He'll have the glamour of LA. He'll have the charm of his own personality. And I think ultimately that will lead to even more success than Bird's had. And Bird's had quite a bit considering the market in which he's dealing. Lastly, Larry Bird here, he's a straight talker, but he's also a smack talker. And I'm reminded of, Ezra Edelman's documentary that just won the O.J. Simpson doc that won the Academy Award for ESPN. He had a doc on HBO, The Courtship of Rivals, Bird and Magic. And do you remember what Bird said the best part of winning a championship was? The best part of beating the Lakers was that he knew his friend was suffering in the other locker room because he knew what that felt like to lose. So when you read Bird say this stuff, yeah, he's shooting Magic straight, but he's also trying to put doubt in his mind because they're already competing against him.
They're already competing. I think Magic has a better shot at being successful because of the market that he's in. But let's also recognize the fact that Bird has had ample opportunity to turn the Indiana Pacers around, and that hasn't necessarily happened. Now, you do have the 56-26 season in 2013-2014 when Frank Vogel was coaching the team. They went to the conference finals. They were very successful, but they didn't have LeBron and D-Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. That was the roadblock, the impediment to their success. Outside of that, they haven't really had that great of a season since Rick Carlisle left. When I believe, what were they, 61-21 in 2003, 2004. So they really haven't had that. Bird has had ample opportunity. Pretty difficult getting dudes to come to Indianapolis to play some basketball. I'm talking about the star caliber dudes. Magic Johnson is Showtime. Like he did, in that documentary, he's going through the front door. Bird will go out through the back. Magic's going through the front door. He wants that crowd. He wants to shine. He wants all of those things. Those things lend itself towards stars wanting to be a part of you because it's La, it's LA, it's sunshine, it's the palm trees. It's someplace I want to be quite honest with you. So when you look at it from that perspective, I think that some of the things on the outside, some of the, just some of the ancillary things, I think it works to Magic Johnson's advantage and will give him an advantage over Bird, because you have Paul George right now, who's better than any player on Indiana and better than any player on the Lakers.
Who might wind up on the Lakers and leave Indiana.
What are they talking about it? He might leave Indiana to go to a market like LA. That's what Larry Bird has to fight against. Magic Johnson does not. I think that gives Magic Johnson the edge.
And just like the matchup in their careers, to me, what's interesting, Bird got out of the gate faster than Magic, the championship for Magic notwithstanding. But Bird was almost universally considered the best player in basketball. And actually his rival initially in terms of the marketing was Dr. J, not Magic. Eventually people caught on that it was Magic, Converse and all those advertisers. Even the video game was Dr. J versus Larry Bird. I remember this. Bird was the guy. But over the long run, it was Magic. And considering the advantage that Bird has, remember, neither one is a GM. They're the heads of basketball operations, presidents. Bird is already savvy in that arena. Magic, it's going to take time. No GMs or presidents are going to give him a break because he's Magic Johnson. They're going to prey upon him because he's inexperienced. So in the short run, I like Bird just like in their careers. Over the long haul, Magic's personality and marketplace, as you mentioned, Stephen A., that in which he's operating, I think will give him the advantage. But we're talking about years over years.
And you like that the rivalry continues.
Best.